All right, so we have this ad. Well, let me just play it for you, I guess, so we can have some background on this. Here's this ad, Respect for Marriage, and it's a ad campaign, I guess. They're going to spend $1 million on this blitz, media blitz, trying to get more people to support gay marriage. Okay, a good cause. And the same people are behind this. Evan Wolfson and Human Rights Campaign and all this. But, the reason why I want to point that out for you is because there's a problem. And when these people, especially Evan Wolfson, are behind these little stunts or events or campaigns, something always ends up being fucked up, and somebody has to come in and save the day. And I'll point to an example was Maryland. This guy, Evan Wolfson, he went out there and told everybody, don't lift a finger in Maryland, we're going to lose. And when things started to go good for everybody, when we started to really gain a lot of momentum in Maryland, now Evan Wolfson came out. It's like, like a week before the election, and he gave some money to the campaign, even though for weeks he was against it. And then he took credit when it won. The voters passed gay marriage, and he took credit for it. Egomaniacs. That's what they are. They don't care about the gay community. But here we are, and let me play this clip. And there's a little bit of controversy surrounding this ad. So let me go ahead and play that for you. Let me see if it's right. Okay.
None of us would want to be told we can't marry the person we love. That's why a growing majority of Americans believe it's time to allow marriage for gay and lesbian couples.
When couples are committed, they ought to have, I think, the
That's
same
Laura
sort
Bush,
of
by the
rights
way.
that everyone has.
Allowing them to live together
Colin
with the
Powell.
protection of law, it seems to me, is the way we should be moving in this country.
Freedom means freedom for everyone.
Dick
Our
Cheney.
journey is not complete until our gay brothers and sisters are treated like
Guess who that
anyone
is?
else under the law.
It's time for marriage.
All right. So that's the ad. It's time for marriage. Okay. But here we have a problem. Now we have a new controversy. This is what happens when you're not tactful, when you're so insulated and detached from reality, because your focus is on your career, right? I mean, you are a careered activist. You make a salary, a living out of this kind of stuff. So, some details, you might miss them. You might have some oversight that you might miss. So what happened is that Laura Bush, who was in this ad, and you heard her already, she requested to be removed from the ad because she's saying, even though she supports gay marriage, which is fine, nothing wrong with that, and I applaud her for that. I don't agree with her husband's politics. I think he's a dangerous human being, and he should be locked up for all of his war crimes. But okay, that's another story. But I don't blame her for that. I don't know what their deal is, but I'm guessing that W had he had a problem with this. He probably said, Laura, you better tell him to stop that bullshit, or else I'm gonna start drinking the Jack. Okay. He doesn't want this near him, but who cares? I mean, Bush is over. Hopefully, right? Thanks to W, no other Bush can be in the White House. People are talking about Jeb Bush, or fuck that. So, she is requesting that her footage be removed. Now, here's the problem. Well, actually, that's the controversy, but here's my thing. Here's my take. Here's the problem for Mrs. Bush. You can't do that. Because it's not your footage. It actually belongs to CNN. This footage that she's referring to is footage of her on CNN being interviewed about gay marriage, and she said that she supports it. That's actually not her footage. She has no right to tell anybody not to use it. It's not hers. Although she's in it, but it's CNN's property. Every time you watch a CNN program, what happens? You see the credits, and then towards the end of the credits, you see this little thing called a copyright. Well, they own it. I'm guessing that Evan Wolfson, hopefully, I hope he's not this reckless. Hopefully he did reach out to CNN and there's other people who own this footage and say, hey, can we borrow it? Or else it might also be other problems. But I don't think that CNN will be that stupid, and create another controversy. But Laura Bush, if I was her advisor, I would be like, you know what? Just let it go. Don't forget about it. Fuck W. Who cares? Because it's not your footage. You cannot tell them what to do with it. It's not hers. Maybe CNN sold it to them. And they have a right to, they purchased it. I don't think that's what happened. I think they just let him, they just turned the other cheek. But you cannot use CNN footage because it's copyrighted at all. And when you go on CNN, Laura Bush, she was on it, she had to sign something called a release. You do that for MSNBC, for anytime you're being filmed for anything on television, cable or satellite or whatever, they make you sign a release or else you're not on. And the release states that you have no right to the footage and they can use it as how they please. And it belongs to that person who's filming it. That's the law. Conservatives should know this. What the hell? I don't know. So it belongs to CNN. And CNN can tell Evan Wolfson or the people of Respect for Marriage, and they can say, you know what, drop it. But they didn't do that. They turned the other cheek, and, they don't want that problem. So CNN is not after it. So why is Laura Bush after it? Well, because she's in it. And the other thing is that this Evan Wolfson character should have vetted all of these people first before doing all of this. This is clearly an embarrassment, right? This is a slap in the face. Now, Evan Wolfson could have given her the finger and said, you know what, no. But since she made it public, this wasn't like she called them and said, hey, I can't. Is there any way that you can get me out of that? And if I was Evan Wolfson, I'd be like, no, fuck you. It's not your footage. It belongs to CNN. But this guy, I don't know what's going on in his mind. This guy's reckless. This is what happens when you screw up. And right now, it's very crucial not to screw up, not to have these kinds of little side track or these little side stories or controversies. You should have asked her first. That would have been my approach to it. If they would have come to me and said, Jose, we have this idea for an ad, I would be like, okay, cool. Now, let's go ask these people if it's fine to use their words. Now, legally, we don't have to do that. We have to ask the owners of the copyrighted material. But the people who are in it, we want to ask them if it's okay, we can use it for this ad, for this political or civil rights movement, whatever. And we would have asked her, and she would have said, guys, maybe it's not a good idea, or, W, my husband doesn't want it, I'm going to get in trouble, he's going to beat me or something, don't do it. And she would not be in there. Now they had to take the ad down, and I don't know, I think they have to edit it out. I don't know if they will. Wouldn't that be kind of weird, though? Now everybody knows that Laura Bush doesn't want to be in it. So now we have to edit it out and put it back in, and now people know, oh, Laura Bush was supposed to be in there. But I think both Laura Bush and Evan Wolfson look like goofs. They look like, first of all, she looks like a hypocrite. And then our side, we look like a bunch of goofs who don't know what we're doing. And that's a problem. Especially when this whole debate is image-driven. right? I mean, the people who hate gay marriage, they are using children in these ads, and they say, look, a little kid is learning how to marry a princess. Stuff, stupid, illogical, unrealistic things. Anyway, so should have asked her. But these guys, I don't know, they're just so full of shit and ego, and it's all about their careers that they forget the little details. It's not about your career. It's about what you're fighting for. So, I don't know. I'm not offended by this at all. I'm not offended by what Laura Bush did. I think I know why. I mean, there's various reasons why she did that. But I'm sort of concerned about this campaign and the future campaigns now. I mean, we are now treading in uncharted waters here because we don't know what to expect. I mean, these little bumps will, they can affect some people. Be brave, but be cautious. It was a good idea, but until it lasted. So, anyway, whatever.